Spalding Township Public Safety Millage, James Township Fire Millage, and Chapin Township Emergency Fire Protection Services all passed. A Richland Township Parks Millage renewal passed, though that township's park improvement millage failed. In Midland County, millage renewals for EMS services, school resource officers, older citizens, and road services all passed overwhelmingly, as did a spongy moth treatment millage renewal and increase. The County Educational Service Agency bonding proposal also passed with nearly 11,000 votes, and a Coleman Community Schools operating millage renewal passed 750 to 432. Only one ballot proposal was presented to voters in Bay County yesterday for the Cucaulin Township millage proposal. Voters approved that millage with 674 to 288 votes. The proposal is a renewal of a 1 mil general tax levy for 4 years. The funds will be used for construction, maintenance, and improvement of local public roads. WSGW News Time, 9:07.
Hi, this is Jessica. It's time to check out United Financial Credit Union and experience the credit union difference. From youth accounts to retirement accounts, we can help you with all of your financial needs. Here at United Financial Credit Union, we've been committed to our communities since 1964 and strive to provide long-term financial stability to our members and their families. Whether you need a loan or are looking for a safe place for your savings, you will always be treated as our top priority. Not a member? Why not? It's never been easier to open an account. It's time for you to check out your local friendly credit union and see how we will put you first.
Must meet eligibility requirements, federally insured by the NCUA.
We're where you work, where you live. United Financial Credit Union. Serving the Valley community.
WSGW News Time, 9:08. The weather forecast is next. The National Weather Service has confirmed 2 tornadoes touched down in Tuscola County on Monday during strong thunderstorms. The first, an EF0 twister, touched down just before 2 p.m. about 3 miles northeast of Vassar, traveling on the ground for about 7 minutes for 2.3 miles. The second tornado, also an EF0, touched down about 5.5 miles south of Cairo around 2:15 p.m., traveling only a half mile in 2 minutes. Both tornadoes caused damage to trees in their areas, though no injuries were reported. Hemlock Semiconductor welcomed Governor Gretchen Whitmer and heard from President Joe Biden on Tuesday to celebrate the passage of the CHIPS and Science Act. Here's WSGW's Jonathan Dent with this report.
President Biden and Governor Whitmer, as well as Michigan senators and representatives, met at Hemlock Semiconductor to discuss the passage of the CHIPS and Science Act, which incentivizes the production of microchips in the United States. The president, who connected virtually due to a recent COVID diagnosis, praised the bill and spoke on the positive impact it's expected to have in Michigan. Governor Whitmer also signed an executive directive to help coordinate Michigan's efforts in competing for funding made available by the CHIPS and Science Act. Jonathan Dent, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
The Youth Advisory Committee of the Bay Area Community Foundation is partnering with the United Way of Bay County to provide backpacks and school supplies as part of the Helen Wirt Lee Back to School program. They're holding a back to school drive Saturday from 10 to 6 at the Bay City Mire on North Pine Road. Backpacks and supplies will be collected on a school bus in the store parking lot provided by Bangor Township Schools. Monetary donations can be made by visiting the Bay Area Community Foundation website. WSGW News Time, 9:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. Partly sunny for today. Showers in the area. Storms also possible during the afternoon. Some of these storms could produce heavy rain. Highs will top out near 92 degrees. South-southwest winds become breezy, increasing to 10 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, showers and storms likely. Some of these storms also could produce heavy rain. Lows drop to 69. Winds remain south-southwest, 5 to 15. Higher gusts possible. And then Thursday, chance for more showers and storms, and highs approach 81. This is meteorologist Phil Jensko with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Right now, it's 72.
Now,
The only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And a good morning to you. Welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. For today, I am actually in the WSGW Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery studio of WSGW. Tomorrow, we'll be out and about for a remote at the annual Bay County Library Book Sale. Looking forward to that up at the Bay Arena. That will be tomorrow. But for today, we have a busy day, actually, because at 9:30 this morning, we're going to talk to Saginaw City Manager Tim Morales. During the 10 o'clock hour, Dan Streeter from the Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan will be joining us to kick off the campaign, their 2-week summer drive. And at 11 o'clock this morning, we'll have some folks to chat with about the upcoming YMCA of Saginaw big outdoor concert. All of that is ahead this morning on the Art Lewis Show. We have a few minutes, though, before we talk to Tim Morales. So if somebody wants to call in real fast, 989-752-6111 is the number. The day following the primary here in Michigan and other states around the nation. No big surprise in the gubernatorial outcome. The polls had showed that Trevor Dixon was going to be the selection for the Republicans to go against Gretchen Whitmer in the fall. And they've already started nipping at each other, and well, that's to be expected. We do get a reprieve from the commercials for a while, but I wouldn't hold my breath, because I suspect that they're going to start up again fairly soon. And, it's kind of a mixed blessing for us in the broadcasting industry, because on the one hand, it certainly helps your budget. No doubt about it. I mean, they spend a lot of money on political advertising. On the other hand, it's a kind of a turnoff in a way to your audience. So it's a mixed blessing. It's one of those things you're darned if you do, you're darned if you don't. So what do you do? Anyhow, I just wanted to mention the fact that, we're off and running into the full-blown midterm political season now. There were some interesting results, though, around the country. The one that I think was looked at the most had nothing to do with individuals, but had to do with the abortion issue. And that was in Kansas. On Tuesday, yesterday, the voters in Kansas voted to protect abortion rights. There was a ballot measure that would have allowed the Republican-controlled legislature to tighten restrictions on abortions. The state, which typically is considered to be a conservative state and anti-abortion, voted to protect abortion rights. This was the first test since the Supreme Court's decision knocking down Roe v. Wade. And it's just one state. But it happened in a state that typically goes to the red side, the Republican side. It's a conservative state. So I think it probably had more significance than a lot of the other races. They're playing the game, who did Trump endorse? That's the game that's being played, And here in Michigan, Trump did very well. Candidates he endorsed came out on top. Other places around the country, not happening quite that way. And there's a big battle in Arizona between the Trump-backed candidate and the anti-Trump candidate. And that's so close, they haven't called it yet. It's within, well within the margin of error. So they're still counting ballots in Arizona. All in all, though, interesting day. I think the only surprise for me in terms of races was the defeat of incumbent Representative Rodney Wakeman in the new district. But that comes with new districts, because when the districts are redesigned, your base of support changes, and you may pick up a district within your new district where you're not known and where there is an incumbent that is well known. And so this happens. But for the most part, there weren't many surprises at all in the election yesterday. So to those who were victorious, congratulations. And to those who weren't, I noticed in the gubernatorial side that some of the candidates were gracious in their defeat and will now back Tudor Dixon on the Republican side. And it's always good to see. It unifies the base in any election for either side. So all in all, there weren't many controversies in the election. There was a threat in one of the polling places, I think in Linden, where they had to evacuate the polling place because of a backpack that was left unattended. Turns out it wasn't a threat. It was an accident. Somebody forgot their backpack, literally. But due diligence required that they came out with bomb-sniffing dogs and the bomb squad and all of that, determined that it was an innocent mistake. Somebody left it there, and that polling place reopened a couple hours later. Meantime, they had moved the polling to the city hall, so nobody was disenfranchised. So all in all, less controversy, not many surprises. What was a surprise to me, most of the various millage packages on the ballot in various jurisdictions around the state passed. There were a few that didn't. We had a couple here in Saginaw County that did not pass. The MSU and 4-H proposal went down to defeat, and the ISD proposal went down to defeat. But like, for example, where I live in Thomas Township, fire and public safety passed, fire apparatus passed. So looking across the various ballot proposals, people were in the frame of mind to support public safety and roads. Most of the road issues passed. But some of the other issues did not fare quite as well. But certainly public safety, big issue, came out on top almost everywhere. And that was good to see, obviously. Anyhow, we're going to take a break, come back with a few more minutes, and then we'll be chatting with Saginaw City Manager Tim Morales here on the Art Lewis Show, where it is coming up on 9:20.
Want to pay less for gas? Stop at any one of your local 26 Forward Shell convenience stores, where you'll save at least 5 cents a gallon on every fill-up with Shell Fuel Rewards. Earn even more cents off when you make purchases in-store on some of your favorite snacks and drinks. Stack the savings, and you can regularly save 10, 20, 30 cents or more off each gallon of gas. That's Fuel Rewards and your area Forward Shell convenience stores. And remember, when you want to pay less at the pump, go forward.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar. Whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners, it's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Did you know that Masterforce has thousands of tools at Menards? Any tool you want, we have. There are hammers, drills, pliers, levels, wrenches, grinders, sanders, air compressors, nailers, workbenches, mowers, blowers, chainsaws, floor jacks, knee pads, work lights, fans. Whew. And that's just a taste. Want power, performance, durability? Come check out the wide range of products from Masterforce, exclusively at Menards.
I was 53, divorced, and ready to get back out there. I was unsure about dating sites, but I signed up for Silver Singles and quickly met Lily.
Mark and Lily rediscovered the romance they deserve on Silver Singles, the secure dating site for 50-plus singles who know what they want.
Lily's a lover of the great outdoors like me, and we instantly connected over it.
If you're like Mark and want to rediscover that feeling, sign up today at silversingles.com/love. That's silversingles.com/love.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
We're expecting to see a rally on Wall Street to start the day. One big mover this morning, CVS, up after beating earnings and revenue expectations.
The company also raising its annual profit forecast due to a boost in its insurance business and sales of over-the-counter COVID testing kits. Stock up almost 4%.
Fox's Maria Bartiromo. Online brokerage Robinhood Markets is cutting 23% of its staff as the trading environment worsens. The company's already announced a 9% reduction earlier this year. And mortgage applications have climbed for the first time in 5 weeks. Demand increasing 1.2% as the average 30-year fixed mortgage rate makes the largest weekly drop since 2020. Applications to refinance a home rose 2%, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
Ammo is expensive and in short supply. You can train without ammunition at home using the Mantisex. The Mantisex firearms training system is a no-ammo, all-electronic way to practice and improve your shooting accuracy. It simply attaches to your firearm and gives you data-driven, real-time feedback on improving your technique. 94% of shooters improve within 20 minutes using Mantisex, a must-have for every responsible gun owner. Dramatically improve your shooting accuracy today. Get yours at mantisex.com. That's mantisex.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Hey, hot dogs, sausages.
Maybe instead of using a stadium vendor to feed the office, we should have just ordered through Easycater.
I got nachos here. Nachos?
Yeah, right here. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it was fun at first, but it is kind of disruptive.
Cheesesteak here. Who wants a cheesesteak?
Over here.
Coming at you.
Oh, right in the face.
Some food just doesn't work at work, but Easycater just does. Food for work on time and as ordered from over 85,000 restaurants. Order 24/7 at easycater.com.
Get money back with every gallon of gas you buy with the free Upside app. Just download the free Upside app, buy gas like normal, and earn serious cash back, no strings attached. From there, it's easy to transfer your cash to your bank account, PayPal, or even an e-gift card. Upside users have earned back over $200 million. Download the free Upside app and use code GAS60 for an extra 25 cents a gallon on your first tank. That's code GAS60 for an extra 25 cents a gallon on your first tank. Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Ground ball deep third along the lines by Candelaria with a waist-high bounce onto scope one. Relay to first. Wow, they turn the 5-4-3 double play. That's a beauty.
The Tigers play 12:50 today on 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you a few minutes before we start our conversation with City Manager Tim Morales from the City of Saginaw. I wanted to touch just for a brief moment on the visit to Taiwan by Speaker Pelosi. If you've listened to me for any length of time, you know that one of my mantras is that even if you don't like someone and you criticize them a lot, when they do something right, you do something at least as you view it as being right, you have to give credit where credit is due. And so that is what I'm going to do to Speaker Pelosi. She has a long history of flying in the face of China. She has been a leading critic of China for a long, long time, going back to Tiananmen Square and her famous appearance in the square, holding up a banner to those who died for democracy in China. She has been a thorn in the side of the Chinese government and continues to be a thorn in the side of the Chinese government by stopping in Taiwan for less than 24 hours yesterday after all kinds of threats and warnings from the Chinese government. Not much came out of it. They've rattled their saber. They're going to do a big live fire in the Taiwan Straits, and they have a big Navy presence. But other than that, not much happened. I give her credit for taking a stand and doing what she believes. I think that, it was the right thing to do. And I think this country we've got a strange policy. I've never been able to quite understand how this policy functions. It's a one China policy, which would indicate to you that we believe China is correct in its assertion that Taiwan is part of China. And on the other hand, we fully support the democracy in Taiwan that flies in the face of what the Chinese government is. And it almost seems like we're trying to balance two acts at the same time. How can you have a one China policy, but then fully support the separate movement within that China policy? But we have, and we've done it for decades. It's always been one of those confusing things to me. From a business standpoint, I think the pandemic has taught us a lesson about China. And that lesson is we are way too dependent on them. We've seen it in chips. We've seen it in other goods and services. We've seen it in the basics of some of our medicines that China supplies, the raw materials. And yesterday in Hemlock, the governor and others, and a video link with the president, President Biden, re-announced, if you will, the establishment of the $50-some-odd billion fund to help in chip manufacturing in the United States. So if we can say a business positive has come out of the pandemic, it may be that in this country we finally recognize that we have to become self-sufficient on these basic goods that we depend on. 30 years ago, would we have said chips would be a basic goods? No, probably not. But today, not much runs without them. If you don't believe that, ask the auto manufacturers who have thousands and thousands of vehicles parked on lots without the chips they need to make all the functions work. So yesterday, that federal legislation to support chip manufacturing in the United States was touted at Hemlock Semiconductor, which probably now, which will benefit from some of that money, will probably plan an expansion. There was a question a while back about a plant that was like half completed, I think, in Tennessee from Hemlock Semiconductor. And then it never went into production. It was shut down before it ever opened up. I wonder if they'll think about reconstituting that. One of these days, we'll have to have somebody on from HSC to talk about that very thing. But in the meantime, as promised to you, we would be chatting with the city manager of the city of Saginaw, and we say good morning to Tim Morales. Tim, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you?
We're doing well. Hope you are too.
Yep.
Well, the election's over anyway, primary-wise. Get back to the basics of government. The question I always start with is, where are we with the ARPA funds? So we might as well go back there again.
So on ARPA, the committee is actually just getting ready to complete their work and issue a final report to City Council on the recommendations. And I think that will be presented to City Council at our second meeting in August, which is August 29th.
Do you have a sense of some of the things that they're recommending that you think will fly?
Well, I think they have a pretty broad range of categories that are also identified by City Council as priorities, and some of those include youth and family services and neighborhood beautification, and those have long been areas of concentration for City Council. So I think those will be something that Council is interested in spending funds on.
When the government issued final rules, the final rules of the final rules, or whatever they were, one of the things that came about was the allowance for replacing funds that were lost during the pandemic. How much of the ARPA money the city got will be used to replace deficiencies in funds?
Well, that was actually in the initial legislation even, so that was always an aspect of the ARPA funds. The council has reserved about $26 million. That doesn't mean that's going to be the final number. We have to calculate that every year. That's based upon our first, I think, 2 years calculation being about $5.5 million or so, and those are the years we've calculated. So our revenue loss sits at about $11 million, somewhere in that range, and we're anticipating it will be about the same for the entirety of the grant period.
So what do you do with that money, Tim? You as city manager sit there and you look at the deficit you had, and now all of a sudden the pot is full again. What do you do with it?
Well, it's an interesting question because you have that funding. However, it's still subject to the grant time period. So it doesn't go in a bank that you have for all of time that can be used. It's still subject to the timeline of the grant period, so it has to be spent. So what we'll look at is those funds have more allowable expenditures than typical ARPA funds that aren't revenue loss. They can be spent on any government activity, essentially. So what we're going to have to look at is making sure we spend it during the grant period on government activities, but also monitor our revenue loss and plug any holes with that. So for instance, we don't want to have any layoffs of fire or police or anything like that because we have a revenue loss. So we could use those funds to plug into our regular budget, with also knowing that those have to be spent by the end of the grant period. So if we don't experience that same level of loss, then we need to spend it on another operation or project.
It actually allowed you to sidestep one of the restrictions in ARPA, which was roads. You couldn't spend ARPA money on roads, but this money that's used for budget replacement, you can actually spend on roads, streets, can't you?
Correct. Yep. It's basically what activities does the city normally provide, and that includes maintenance of roads.
All right, hang on, Tim. I got to take a quick break here. We'll come back. We're talking to City Manager Tim Morales, the City of Saginaw. And we will be back with more on the Art Lewis Show right after these.
It's back to school time, and Capocco Community Credit Union is here to help you with all you need for going back to school. Books and tuition, perhaps furniture for your dorm, or any other expenses. Keeping up with studying and exams is challenging enough. Let Capocco Community Credit Union help getting there easier with a Visa credit card with 9.9% annual percentage rate. It's easy to apply online at capocco.org, member NCUA.
Your day starts before the sun rises. Once your boots hit the ground, you head out to a field, a barn, or a tractor. As stewards of the land, you know anything worth doing is worth doing right. At Farm Bureau Insurance, we've always believed in and practiced this same philosophy. From heaving bales and weaning calves to spring seeding and fall harvests, it's all about an honest day's work. Knowing your insurance provider is rooted in Michigan offers comfort. At Farm Bureau Insurance, the experience you get with our local trusted advisors is different. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
Find your coverage in Vassar, Millington, and Mayville. Call Denny Miller at 989-823-8493.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. That's ziprecruiter.com/radio. ziprecruiter.com/radio.
It's back to school time, so here's a lesson in big wireless hype. Flashy phone plan deals usually don't add up to actual savings. Graduate to Straight Talk Wireless and get our Silver Unlimited plan with unlimited high-speed data and 5 gigs of hotspot data for just $45 a month. Plus, get a Samsung Galaxy A13 5G for only $149, all on America's best 5G networks. Unlimited data, less money, no-brainer. Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart and Walmart.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. A month equals 30 days. See latest terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
On the next Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins show, the White House says they didn't hand over Afghanistan to terrorists.
Then why are we killing terrorists? Simple question. Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW. From the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios. You are listening to 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
Back with you, the Art Lewis Show for this Wednesday morning, talking to Saginaw City Manager Tim Morales. Tim, couple of questions, one from a listener. Any plans to rehab Ojibwe Island and its speaker system?
Well, that's one of the projects I think that was submitted for ARPA. If I recall correctly, it was probably submitted by our own staff. So we do have that as an option for City Council to look at. It'd be great to get some additional events there. You know, some of the major ones had pulled out over the past few years, but if we could make some additional improvements to the electrical system there, the speaker system, and some of the other issues, we probably could get some shows back there. And you're probably aware there's an issue with the electrical service there. If there is an event, they have to have the large generator trucks too, which is more difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. The other question has to do with the Huntington Bank building. Who owns it and where are we on the rehab? What's going to happen now?
So the Huntington Bank building is, they have I believe the process is completed. It's a organization out of Lansing that was purchasing it and from Huntington Bank for development. I can't recall the name of the corporation at this time, but I believe they're finalized with their with their purchase. They are currently seeking funding for the rehab and redevelopment of the building. I believe it's somewhere in the range of a $50 million project. They requested ARPA money from the city, and that's gone through the committee. They've also requested various funding from the state of Michigan, and all that's currently in process. So hopefully they'll get through that and get awarded the funding that they need to move the project forward.
What was recently passed that had to do with that project that allows them to do certain things?
Mm-hmm. That was, we've passed a obsolete property rehabilitation certificate for them, and they may have some other similar items that were passed by city council that aid in the development. So that basically freezes the valuation of the property so they can not have increased taxes because of their investment. And I'm sure they're looking at some brownfield if they haven't done that already.
My understanding is it's going to be a multi-use property.
Yeah, primarily it is housing, rental housing, and then I think they'll have some event space available as well, and some retail space, especially to serve the tenants.
All right, let's talk about another issue that faces everybody today, business people, government alike, and that's labor. How's the city doing in filling its labor needs?
Well, I think we've had some improvements there since the last time we talked. We've done a lot of hiring in the last month or so, but we've had to modify the way that we operate, which is something that I think most businesses and government units are going to have to do. We're hiring people that may need some additional training, and we're going to provide that training to help them get licenses and different certifications that they need to do that work. So I think that's a great way for us to get people in and help get them get the workforce trained. So it's going to be beneficial to us to have those positions filled, even though we do have to provide additional training.
How about police and fire? Are they at capacity right now, or are they still looking to?
I think that police or fire, I think, is at capacity. I think we hired recently. If not, we're in the process, and we're always looking for police officers. We do have several officers that we're sponsoring to go through the police academy at Delta College this fall, and that's something that we've been doing for some time, so that we can hire local people into our police department if they're not certified or they haven't attended the police academy. We'll fund that, or there's also a nonprofit here in Saginaw that funds some of those attendees as well.
And all you have to do is figure out how to get the other departments not to steal them once you've educated them.
Yep, that's true.
I hear that all the time on the crime council. It's an ongoing
issue. And it's not because there's a shortage of police everywhere. So you're right. Everybody's looking for them.
So what's on the table that's urgent coming up? Anything?
Well, I think we're in our new fiscal year. So that started July 1st. So we're getting a lot of projects done. Our probably biggest projects right now. And you'll notice driving around the city that there are a lot of detours. So we're doing a lot of road work right now. And I know our engineering staff is working hard to make sure that stays on schedule so that we don't have too many inconveniences for people. And I do, you mentioned the election earlier, the primary at least, we have completed. So I want to thank our clerk's office and all of our election workers for doing a great job with that. It's a lot of work and it's demanding. And that's another area where it's difficult to find people to work. It's a one day job for a lot of people. So we have to find very committed people that are dedicated that will do that. Yeah. So we have to thank them as well.
Good place to end the discussion. And Tim, as always, I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Art.
Yep, you're more than welcome. Thanks for being with us today. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Take care. Bye-bye now. Tim Morales, he is the city manager of the city of Saginaw. We thank him for joining us. He does it regularly to give us updates on what's happening in the city. We're going to take a break, come back. We'll have open phones for the remainder of the hour for the few minutes we have. You can give us a call, 989-752-6111.
Hi, this is Jessica. Do you currently have an auto lease coming due? Have you been thinking about whether or not you should keep your current leased vehicle and are worried about current dealership inventory? Don't let the thought of searching for a new car stress you out. United Financial is here to help you. You can take advantage of our auto lease buyout loan and continue driving your current vehicle. Plus, enjoy 90 days of no payments, low rates, and a gas card when you find your current leased vehicle with United Financial Credit Union. See how we put you first at United Financial? And contact us today to learn more, and we can keep you on the road in your current vehicle.
Some restrictions may apply. See credit union for details. Federally insured by the NCUA.
We're where you work, where you live. United Financial Credit Union. Serving the Valley community. RocketGrabPlus.com.
This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Bearded Axe in Saginaw. You are going to get a party room for 3 hours and 2 hours of axe throwing for half off. Bearded Axe Party Room adult package is great for bachelor or bachelorette parties, a night out with friends, and so much more. Located at 4375 Bay Road in Saginaw. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
COVID-19 moves fast, and now you can too. If you feel symptoms, even if they're mild, you should test fast. Test positive and at high risk for severe COVID-19? Then act fast with authorized oral treatments that can be taken at home and must be taken within 5 days from when symptoms begin. COVID-19 moves fast, and now you can too by asking your healthcare provider if an oral treatment is right for you. Learn about a treatment option at treatcv19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
This survivor tip is brought to you by Wsjw sprays. You may be able to handle the occasional beetle in your home, but what if you had to eat one to survive? Here's a clip from season 26 of the hit CBS TV show, Survivor.
Beetle larva. It's running off the plate. I'm going to be sick. Is it going to bite me?
Stream every season of Survivor on Paramount Plus and keep pests under control with Wsjw sprays. A worry-free way to get rid of bugs. Safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Wsjw, people-friendly, bug-deadly.
I'll second guest dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit creoninfo.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREON info.com.
The WSGW Invitational Golf Outing is Tuesday, August 16th at the Sawmill Golf Club. It's presented by Westside Decorating and powered by Branham's Jewelry. Over $5,000 in prizes to be given away. You can purchase your entry to play today. Only $60 per golfer. To sign up, visit WSGW.com. Scroll down the homepage and find the Winvitational Golf box. Click to find the entry link. The Winvitational Golf Outing at the Sawmill, Tuesday, August 16th. Sign up to play today at WSGW.com.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. And let's go to our phones. Paul is in Saginaw. Paul, good morning.
Morning, Art. Art, got a question for you here. How did Tudor Dixon get not one, but 2 right-to-life endorsements after she said that she's for abortion to save the life of the mother, when 2 and 3 of the other candidates were against abortion, period, all the way through?
I'll tell you why, in my opinion, all right? In my opinion, many anti-abortion folks will allow for the life of the mother. And some will go farther and allow for rape and incest. So I'm not surprised. You can be anti-abortion, but also allow for the life of the mother.
I am still shocked.
Why are you shocked? Most states that have anti-abortion laws have clauses in it for the life of the mother.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about right to life endorsements, period. Right to life doesn't endorse abortion for any reason, period. And I'm surprised that 2 right to life endorsements came for her when the other candidates were against it totally. There were at least 2 candidates that were against it.
I guess
totally,
they saw
didn't get any endorsement.
I guess they saw something in her they liked. You have to ask them beyond that.
They're looking at the politics of it to see who can best beat the governor.
That may be too. Isn't that what it's all about?
Well, I understand that.
You got to win to have the power.
But right. But I mean, as far as a right to life endorsement, that should be one-way ticket and one-way ticket only.
No,
in my opinion.
I disagree, but that's me. So, and as I said earlier, many people, including some who believe in right to life as an organization, hold that the life of the mother is an exception. It's not unusual.
Well, I beg to differ, but
well, it's fine.
Hey, there ain't nothing I can do about it now. So
that's true.
That's
true.
But she's still a better candidate, in my opinion, than what we got. So,
there you go. So your choice is made for you.
I have to hold my nose.
Yeah, you can't have everything.
The lesser of 2 evils.
I don't know anybody that I vote for that I totally agree with, ever.
All right. Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, that's true.
So, all right. Good enough.
All right.
Take care.
All right. Later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Now, listen, endorsements are an interesting part of politics because many times it's a matter of choosing who you think will win down the road rather than who represents you 100%. And again, as I've said, I don't know anybody I vote for that I agree with totally on everything. Doesn't exist. I'm me, and I view things my way, and not everybody does. And that's what makes a horse race. Speaking of that, there's something interesting to watch in national politics. The power has shifted in the Senate. Up until a week or so ago, I would have said the most powerful man in the Senate is Joe Manchin. And that's because he was an obstacle to a lot of what the Democrats wanted, even though he's registered as a Democrat, but he is a conservative Democrat. Well, that's changed now because he and Speaker Schumer, Majority Leader Schumer, have come up with a deal on the Build Back Better plan, which is a shadow of the original, but still hundreds of billions of dollars and tax increases. The power has shifted now to the other maverick in the Democratic caucus, Kristen Sinema. The Democrat from Arizona has yet to speak out on this bill because she was waiting for the parliamentarians' review of the bill, which would determine how much of it actually could be voted on as reconciliation. There are limits. You can't vote on everything in reconciliation. As the Democrats have found out in the past when the parliamentarian knocked out quite a number of things in the original Build Back Better. So she is waiting for the review from the parliamentarian as to what can and cannot be voted on in reconciliation before she speaks out on it. Now, the Senate could disregard the parliamentarians' remarks and instructions, but they have not tended to do that in the past. Going to be an interesting thing to watch. See what the parliamentarian says and then see what Kristen Sinema does. She has yet to say one way or another. She has Chuck Schumer holding his breath Because if she says, nope, I can't support it, it's dead. She is now the deciding vote. If she says yes, and all the Democrats, 50 of them, vote for it, and the vice president breaks the tie, it passes. She has the deciding vote in the palm of her hand and has not indicated what she'll do with it. Take our last break this hour and come back and close out.
Why do I fly out of MBS Airport? Because the stress-free experience on the ground makes for a more enjoyable experience up here.
Eagle Test, this is Bravo. I'm gonna do some barrel rolls and other cool stuff.
Whoa, oh, what a dream. Even a business trip's exciting. And with services through Delta and United Airlines, you'll feel upgraded as soon as you walk through their doors. Book your flight today at mbsairport.org.
For almost 20 years, Linex has been the only place to go for quality spray-on bed liner. But did you know they also offer rust-proofing and undercoating?
Their exclusive process will keep your new or used vehicle protected.
The guys at Linex have the only wax-based rust-proofing and military-spec undercoat to ensure years of protection.
In fact, all new vehicles protected will get a lifetime warranty, no yearly touch-ups required.
And because their rust-proofing process is wax-based, you won't have any long-term dripping or mess to clean up later. Rust-proof your car, truck, or SUV and protect it year-round.
Linex is located on Wilder Road in Bay City.
Give them a call at 989-671-9820 or call them at their Grand Blanc location, 810-695-9000.
Remember, your new car, truck, or SUV gets a lifetime warranty with no yearly touch-up required.
Again, the number in Bay City is 989-671-9820 or in Grand Blanc, 810-695-9000.
Did you get the Clement Horizon clean last night? I don't want another barnacle incident. Where's Ivan?
Kiki's head of docking operations just jumped ship.
What do you mean he's sailing around the world?
She needs a new marina manager to help keep her head above water.
Yeah, the tide's perfect, but we are slammed.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
The Wsjw online polls about Supreme Court term limits. Democrats have introduced bills to enact term limits for Supreme Court justices. Every president would nominate a justice every 2 years in their first and third terms. The current justice would move to senior status to allow new justices to be seated. So it would just be an ongoing rotation. The poll from the Associated Press and NORC found 82% of Democrats, 57% of Republicans support some type of term limits for justices. A majority. Our poll question is this. What do you think about term limits for United States Supreme Court justices? Do you disagree with any term limits at all? Do you agree with the Democrat plan? Do you agree with term limits, but maybe not this particular plan? Here's my answer. I would agree to Supreme Court term limits if Congress agreed to term limits for themselves.
Score one for Charlie.
Yeah, we also throw in, I'm not sure. Head to WSGW.com, scroll down the homepage, find the online poll box, and cast your vote that way.
The Morning Team Show. Weekdays 5:30 till 9 on WSGW.
All right, that puts the first hour of the Art Lewis Show in the bag, so to speak. Thanks for joining us, and our thanks to City Manager Tim Morales. Coming up in the 10 o'clock hour, we're going to be chatting with the CEO of the Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan, Dan Streeter, as they kick off their summer fundraising campaign. We'll talk to you right after the news.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez in New York. By a margin of almost 60 to 40%, Kansans have voted against an amendment to the state constitution that could have paved the way for new abortion restrictions. The nation's Amy Littlefield.
If these numbers hold coming out of Kansas, I think this is clear evidence that that majority has awakened into a political force, the power of which no one quite saw coming.
It was the first state to vote on abortion since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. President Biden is set to take new action. White House correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
Today, the president will sign an executive order aimed at further advancing abortion rights in states where access is restricted. He'll direct the Health and Human Services Secretary to consider giving waivers under Medicaid to cover abortions for those who travel across state lines to get them.
Correspondent Ed O'Keefe is in Arizona with a look at a still undecided race there.
With votes still being counted in Arizona's Republican gubernatorial primary, Karen Taylor Robson is neck and neck with opponent Kari Lake. The former TV news anchor, backed by former President Donald Trump, believes the 2020 election was stolen.
Kari Lake got former Vice President Pence's endorsement. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is on her way to South Korea and Japan after a controversial stop in Taiwan and a meeting with that nation's president. Correspondent Cammie McCormick reports.
China has reacted with anger to the visit and announced military exercises around the island.
And this is exactly what we expected.
National Security Council Coordinator John Kirby.
The trip is complete. It was completely consistent with our obligations under the Taiwan Relations Act.
It will be an oppressively hot, muggy day in eastern Kentucky, where people are shoveling out from the wreckage of massive flooding, many in places without electricity. Michael Bowman's been working on waterlogged drywall at a law office in Hindman.
Everything is completely destroyed. It's going to have to be gutted, and I mean, the only thing really that's sound is the frame.
Governor Beshear has scheduled a news conference for next hour. We could get an update on the death toll, which now stands at 37. Thomas Hoyer, whose son Luke was one of 17 people shot to death at Stoneman Douglas High in Parkland, Florida, spoke at gunman Nicholas Cruz's sentencing trial.
When Luke died, something went missing in me, and I'll never get over that feeling.
The trial will determine whether Cruz is sentenced to death or life in prison. The Dow is up 205 points right now. The S&P is ahead 35. This is CBS News.
Hire with minimal effort and max speed with Indeed. Their hiring solution platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates efficiently. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Summer has officially arrived. This is Sonia with Westside Decorating Center. We can help keep your homes noticeably cooler with our energy-efficient window treatments. Call our designers at 989-793-6182 for a personal consultation. Whether you want to filter the sunlight or block it out entirely, we've got the perfect style for you. Ask about our free cordless upgrades and power options. We invite you to stop in and see our updated displays today at Westside Decorating, 5789 State Street in Saginaw Township.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Straight Talk Wireless knows there are plenty of reasons you might need a new phone. But switching to a better wireless provider doesn't have to be one of them. Keep your own phone and save when you switch to any Straight Talk Wireless plan, like our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with unlimited high-speed data and 5 gigs of hotspot, plus nationwide 5G on America's best networks. Keep your own phone. Switch to a better wireless plan. Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart and Walmart.com. Requires a compatible unlocked phone and QIOP kit. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See latest terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies, 73 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. Congressman John Molinar retains his seat in the GOP primary for the 2nd Michigan Congressional District. Molinar defeated challenger Thomas Norton with 65% of the vote and will go on to face Democratic challenger Jerry Hilliard of Mount Pleasant on the November general election. Hilliard also ran against Molinar in both 2018 and 2020. In the Republican primary for the 8th District, Paul Jung has defeated Matthew Seeley and Candace Miller with 53% of the vote. Jung will face Democratic incumbent Dan Kildee in November. State Representative Annette Glenn has now entered the 35th District State Senate race as the winner of yesterday's GOP primary. Glenn defeated fellow Republicans Tim Kelly, Christian Velasquez, and Martin Blank with just over 40% of the vote. She's set to face Democrat Kristen McDonald-Rivette in November, who ran uncontested in yesterday's election. State Senator Kevin Daly retains his seat as well, beating challenger Sherry Martin with more than 75% of the vote in the 26th district. He'll face Democratic challenger Charles Stadler, who ran uncontested as well. Saginaw Valley State University students are taking part in the annual Battle of the Valleys fundraising competition, the 20th anniversary of the event. Battle of the Valleys started in 2003 as a fundraising competition between the student bodies of SVSU and Grand Valley State University, capitalizing on their football rivalry. After stepping away from the fundraiser in 2019 and 2020, Grand Valley returned in 2021, but recently announced they won't compete this year. However, SVSU is continuing the tradition and has selected Self Love Beauty as the charitable partner for this year's competition. That's a Midland-based nonprofit dedicated to improving the mental and emotional health of teens and young adults. The 2022 Battle of the Valleys kicks off on September 26th and ends at the SVSU GVSU football game Saturday, October 1st. WSGW News Time, 10:07.
Hi, I'm Tom Connors. Went to Mark Patrick's hypnosis seminar February 6, 2019. Nothing worked before. Left there and never smoked again. Amazing. Easy, affordable, and guaranteed. A year later, with my wife Michelle, attended Mark Patrick's weight loss seminar. She lost 18 pounds and I lost 43 in 8 weeks.
It's true. He smoked 2 packs a day and nothing worked until Mark Patrick hypnosis. Now we're losing weight together, eating healthy, full on half the food. Crazy. Enjoying exercising. Who would have believed Mark Patrick hypnosis really works?
It's amazing. I can breathe again. My blood pressure went down and I've got so much energy.
So much energy.
And look great.
Join the Mark Patrick Weight Loss and Stop Smoking Seminars for only $49.99, Sunday, August 7th at the Hampton Inn and Suites in Saginaw. To register and for more details, go to markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. An incumbent Congressman, Peter Meyer, is out in West Michigan as he loses his primary to John Gibbs, who had the endorsement of former President Donald Trump. You may recall the Republican Meyer voted to impeach former President Trump shortly after he took office after the riot at the U.S. Capitol. John Gibbs worked in the Trump administration and said Meyer has betrayed his voters. Meyer has congratulated Gibbs in a statement. Gibbs believes he can win in November when he faces Democratic nominee Hillary Scholten, an immigration lawyer. 1.1 million Michigan residents voted in the primary election by absentee ballot. Here's Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson on what comes next.
Once every valid ballot is counted and the unofficial results are released, election officials will shift their attention to election canvassing. This is the process whereby they review all election processes, procedures, and results to confirm accuracy and proper protocols that were followed today and throughout the election cycle and correct any clerical errors.
Benson says the elections were handled across the state without many issues. In congressional races in southeast Michigan, incumbent Rashida Tlaib has won the Democratic race in the newly drawn 12th congressional district. That includes parts of Detroit, Oakland County, and western Wayne County. She'll face Republican Stephen Elliott in November. We're still waiting for more results to determine a winner in the 13th congressional district. State lawmaker Sri Tanadar was leading State Senator Adam Hollier about 3,000 votes, with around 32% of the vote counted. In the 10th congressional district, former Macomb County prosecutor and judge Carl Marlinga beat out 4 challengers and will face businessman John James. 2 other incumbent U.S. representatives, Lisa McClain and Tim Walberg, who are facing challenges, survived and will be on the ballot in November also. WSGW News Time, 10:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. A few scattered showers and storms here for today with cloudy sky conditions, a high in the upper 80s. Winds out of the southwest around 5 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 30. And for tonight, a chance for showers and thunderstorms, cloudy, a low near 71. By Thursday, a chance for some rain showers, mostly cloudy, high of 83 degrees. Then on Friday, plenty of blue skies and sun with a high around 83. Saturday, sunshine, high of 92 degrees. Then on Sunday, a chance for showers and thunderstorms. Partial sunshine develops. We'll see a high around 90. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast.
Currently, it's 72.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, good morning to you. Welcome back to the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Coming to you today from the actual studios of WSGW. That's the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios. Normally, I'm at home in my Saginaw Spirit studio, but today we are in studio. And one of the reasons I came in, although I think sometimes it's to punish myself, is to talk to a man who I have a great deal of respect for. I kid him a lot, but I love him like a brother. And he is the executive director of the Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan. He is Dan Streeter.
Great to be here. I don't even know how to respond to that. It's
good. We are also Jonathan is helping me set it up, so if you're watching the stream, you'll be able to see his smiling face, not just mine. Oh, and look, there it is. It's coming in. Wow, look, we're going to see it in a moment.
I was going to say, did you get my good side? Do I have?
Is there one? I don't have one. Why should you?
That's why we're on radio, right?
Well, we do have a lot of fun when we converse. However, it's always a there he is, folks. Look at that. There's always a seriousness to the conversation, and no different today. The Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan, I think for those that don't know, probably we should just do a brief overview of the Rescue Ministries before we get into the nitty-gritty and the current ask. Tell us about the Rescue Ministries.
Sure. To me, one of the most amazing things is that we are a faith-based nonprofit organization to help those that are homeless, those that are hurting in our community, those that are struggling. And we've been able to do so since 1905. And to me, that's one of the most amazing things of the organization, but also what's so amazing about this community. And not only helping what we're doing, but there's so many nonprofits that are doing amazing work in this region, and how this region is so charitably minded and thinking of others. And so that's part of the reason why we have been able to help people for so long. And Dad got involved with the ministry back in the mid-70s. And then that just kind of sucked the whole family into being involved during that time as well.
That's one way of putting it.
Yeah.
But you escaped for a while.
I did escape for a little while, thinking that I would do my own thing. Spent a short stint going into education down in Georgia. But then, the Lord called us back, and my wife and I. But during the time that Mom and Dad first started with the ministry was when a women's shelter was first opened, Women and Family Shelter in Saginaw, and that was back in 1982. And that was one of the first family shelters, homeless shelters in the region.
Well, I got to tell you, I remember very well when Ken first acquired the Rescue Ministries. And I didn't know him, and I didn't know much about the Rescue Ministries, to tell you the truth. And my first reaction was, he did what?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Probably yours too.
Right.
You look back and it turned out to be a genius move in terms of serving this region. But back then, it was, what's he doing?
Right.
Why is he doing it?
Mom and Dad always had a heart for others, and it was just a matter of finding where it was that the Lord wanted them to be. and it wouldn't have made sense at that time, but it's one of those things. It's funny that this is the week of the Saginaw County Fair. One of my early memories that I have associated to the mission was Dad having a booth out at the fair back in the 70s.
I remember that.
And just getting people to actually know that the mission was in existence still, and seeing ways for people to get involved. So I remember hanging out there and getting to see the fair from a different perspective.
So you on your own went into education. What you mentioned the Lord's calling, but what actually brought you back to Saginaw? Why did Dan Streeter decide to abandon his own career and his own desires and head back here?
So some would think it was because of Dad, but that was really not he wasn't involved in recruiting at all. In fact, he tried to get me to come back when I first graduated from college. And I said, no, I'd seen what it was like behind the scenes long enough to know that wasn't what I wanted to do. And for 3 years, was working with a small Christian school down in Georgia, getting to do all the things that I thought that I wanted to do. And then God just made it really clear to both my wife and I that we needed to come back and get involved. And someone else on staff actually recruited me, and he ended up moving on and becoming the director of a ministry down in Holland that has grown phenomenally, another shelter there. But Daryl Bartlett had recruited me.
Well, your dad was still running the organization.
He was still running the organization, but he had kind of given up on the fact that I would even think about coming back. And so then he was pleasantly surprised when that happened. And it was really part of, I think, the long-term transition plan is then the mission continued to grow. And in 2005, we opened up Good Samaritan Rescue Mission. And then in 2010, kind of passed on the reins of leadership from Dad to myself. And now have been doing that for a little over 12 years.
Because when you came back, you weren't director. I mean, you were a peon.
That's right. I was doing everything that was asked of to be done by any staff member. And so it's just, I've kind of grown up around the ministry as a 10-year-old kid, seeing it from that standpoint all the way till now, 45 years later.
No, so now you're what, a 55 or a 45-year-old kid?
A 55-year-old kid, yes.
Well, you're sitting across from a 79-year-old kid, so I recognize that.
I think our wives would both say that we've never grown up and never will.
I know mine would. That's the fun of life, though. And so I have to ask this question then. Any regrets coming back?
Oh, none whatsoever. It was just maybe initially at first, but it definitely was something. As we look back now, it was something there was no doubt that we were supposed to be here, and that this was what we were supposed to do, and that both my wife and I had talents that were specifically needed to help people in need, and to know that we've been able to take the abilities that we have and to be able to make a difference.
It needs to be pointed out, because you've mentioned God a number of times. Religiously, you were active, period. I mean, you grew up as a religious individual.
Right. Yeah.
So that wasn't a change. That wasn't a surprise. That wasn't a discovery, so to speak.
Service was going to be somehow we were going to be serving and doing something for others. And that was just always on our heart. And we had thought at first maybe it was going to be in Christian education or in Christian camping. And, God had a different mindset for us. And it's just amazing as we look back now as to how it was perfectly slated for us.
Did you ever think it was going to be in Christian fundraising?
Well, and that's also about the last thing that I ever wanted to do.
And guess what? Here we are today. We're about to talk about that very thing as we chat with Dan Streeter, who is the executive director of the Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan. We will announce the summer campaign right after this break. We'll also chat with Terry Henney, who is out at the Saginaw County Fair, and we will do that too before we return with Dan Streeter.
Hemlock Public School District is a leader in innovation, collaboration, and education in Mid-Michigan, with programs from the cradle to early middle college, where hands-on and hard work never go out of style. Our mission and vision, here to serve, innovate, educate, and collaborate. For more information, call us at 989-642-5282. That's 642-5282. Or explore more at hemlockps.com. Hemlock Public Schools, excellence in education. Enroll today.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
We're expecting to see a rally on Wall Street to start the day. One big mover this morning, CVS, up after beating earnings and revenue expectations.
The company also raising its annual profit forecast due to a boost in its insurance business and sales of over-the-counter COVID testing kits. Stock up almost 4%.
Fox's Maria Bartiromo. Online brokerage Robinhood Markets is cutting 23% of its staff as the trading environment worsens. The company's already announced a 9% reduction earlier this year. And mortgage applications have climbed for the first time in 5 weeks. Demand increasing 1.2% as the average 30-year fixed mortgage rate makes the largest weekly drop since 2020. Applications to refinance a home rose 2%, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
Ammo is expensive and in short supply. You can train without ammunition at home using the Mantisex. The Mantisex firearms training system is a no-ammo, all-electronic way to practice and improve your shooting accuracy. It simply attaches to your firearm and gives you data-driven, real-time feedback on improving your technique. 94% of shooters improve within 20 minutes using Mantisex, a must-have for every responsible gun owner. Dramatically improve your shooting accuracy today. Get yours at mantisex.com. That's mantisex.com.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit InspireSleep.com to learn more.
Ground ball deep third along the line by Candelaria with a waist-high bounce onto scope one. Relay to first. Wow, they turned the 5-4-3 double play. That's a beauty.
The Tigers play 12:50 today on 790 News Radio WSGW.
Hey, welcome back. Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. In studio with me is Dan Streeter, Executive Director of the Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan, about to kick off the summer. I don't know what to call it anymore because it's kind of, the name changes, it seems to me. One time I was calling it the Summer Blitz, and I call it what you want. What do you call it?
The Summer Match campaign.
Summer Match campaign.
Yep.
Well, match indicates you're coming in with money in your pocket.
We have some very faithful donors that love the concept of trying to encourage others to give as well and to come and get involved. And so we have $57,500 of potential match money, and they're just asking others to come alongside of them. Part of what stimulated the idea for this was several years ago, we came to realize August was the most difficult time for funds to come in. People are out doing vacation stuff, and a lot of times people don't even think about homelessness during August.
And you wouldn't think the demand goes up.
Right.
But
unfortunately it does. And it's really one of the most stressing times for our women and children's ministry. The numbers just every August go through the roof. A part of it is because families are trying to establish a residency during a time just before going to school. So they got to have an address for kids. So that's one thing. But prior to that, then they'll be bouncing around potentially from one family to a friend. And then finally they've got to find a place to land. And so that's part of the dynamics that people don't ever realize. Usually the mission is the last place that people want to come, but usually we're the place that's going to help them the best to get back on their feet.
We've talked about this many times, but through knowing you, I have had to totally change my view of what a mission is. Growing up in New York City, I had one image of a mission. It was the Bowery. It was the drunk laying on the sidewalk next to a paper bag.
Right.
And that was the image we were all fed. And that's what the media fed us back then, and movies fed us, and everybody else fed us. I came here and started talking to Dan Streeter about, what are you talking about families? What are you talking about kids? What's that got to do with the mission? Totally had changed my perspective. I mean, it really did. And then touring the facility in Saginaw really opened my eyes.
And we've worked even harder and making it, because of the pandemic, we needed to make sure that things were even safer and easier to wash down. And so we've spent the last 2 years in the pandemic not only helping people during that time, but then also making sure that the facilities are even healthier than what they were before. So we built in some dividers to be able to help put space in there, so that way there's plenty of social distancing that takes place. And just from top to bottom, just making sure it's a safe environment for anybody who's coming in.
You mentioned match, which means we're looking for donations for this next 2 weeks. And this 2 weeks is a concentrated period for the match. Friends, donate whenever you can. But this is a match time where your money can double, right?
Yep. Perfect opportunity for your $30 to become $60, or your, if you want to sponsor whatever it is. And it's going for the 2 weeks. It started today. And so you can go to r3monline.org. That's the easiest way to make a donation, or you can send a check in to Rescue Ministries, and you can see our address on the website. And all you got to do is just put summer match. It goes from now until August 16th.
If you click on the donate now button, it comes up to a page where it says donate. Surprise, surprise. And then it explains, all about it, and offers you options on how much you want to donate. And you just go from there. And I don't see summer match on here, though. Do you have to write that in, or?
You don't have to, because the link automatically.
It automatically will match then.
Yeah.
Okay. It's all online.
And you can go to even WSGW.
Yep. Because the link will be there.
Right.
Absolutely. So walk us through a stay at one of the missions. Someone finds themselves homeless, whether it's a family. Let's start with an individual. An individual finds themselves homeless. He or she shows up at your front door. Walk us through the process, how long they're there, and what happens while they're there.
So the first day that someone shows up, it obviously depends on the time of the day, but hopefully, it's during the middle of the day. Then that way we can right from the start be able to get you connected to a case manager, and you can talk to them right away. If it's during the middle of the night, then it'll be until the next day. So maybe about 12 hours will pass before you get a chance to sit down with the case manager. But from the second you come in, our staff's going to greet you warmly. We'll go through an interview to find out where have you been, what's been going on in your life, and then find out if you have any means. Have you already connected with DHHS? Where are things at within your life? Do you have any prescriptions? What do you know about your own medical situation? So we try to get some base knowledge, but at the same time, try to get people comfortable. Let them know when meals are. Find out what they have for their personal items. Do you have clothing? Don't you? So then we're going to try to get them all the things that they need: socks, underwear, clothing, hygiene products. So that first 24 hours is just trying to de-escalate and let them know that there's care for them and that there are solutions for them, and to try to relieve the stress.
We should point out part of that interview process is pretty private, pretty invasive as far as information goes. But it has to be, because you become responsible for them, don't you?
Well, we're trying to make sure that we're pointing them in the right direction. So information helps, trying to share, but not being prying. It's that you got to let them know that they care. Because what I was alluding to before, all they've known is rejection for multiple times. And so there's maybe a cynicism, a skepticism that starts to come in. And so we're just trying to de-escalate that, and we do that through the accommodations and by how we greet and by the meals that we serve. So all of that hopefully then slows things down, so then that way they can start to see the hope that's in the future.
How many of these folks that come to you, Dan, would you describe as being in psychological shock? And let me explain what I mean by that. It may be a man or a woman who's worked all their lives, never ever expected to be on the street or homeless. And bingo.
Right.
Here they are.
So first, nobody ever plans to be homeless. And then second, because of perceptions, the last place that they want to be is at the mission. But usually that's going to be the safest place for them with the greatest connection for potential resources. And so we're just trying to help build those initial trust. And another part of it, and there's still, a lot of study that's going into this about adverse childhood experiences, but they are finding that people who experience homelessness probably have had 10 or more adverse childhood experiences in their past. And that's part of what's also led into part of their homelessness. So that's also something that we're investigating. It's also borderline. A lot of individuals who come to us are struggling with mental health issues. And so trying to connect them to those and get an assessment and finding out who have they already dealt with, if they've even dealt with anybody. So it's a lot more than the 3 hots and the cots that maybe was thought of back in the 60s and 70s. It really has become an integration of social service work. And we have to work right along side by side if we want to have success with DHHS workers and with mental health workers and with medical workers. It's got to be a team effort.
I imagine it's almost easier to understand an individual with mental health problems who walks into the shelter as opposed to somebody who worked all his or her life, never had any problems, and all of a sudden finds themselves on the street.
Well, if we think about our own support systems, we probably, if we ran into something tonight, a tornado or something that happened that we lost our home, we probably have in our minds 3 or 4 people that we could immediately go to and that would potentially help us out. So many people that are homeless, the majority of them have been living right on the edge, and so the edge of poverty. And so it only takes a couple incidences to unravel all of that network. And then the next thing you know, you're trying to, if you've been disconnected from family, then, it can easily fall apart. So people who are very capable, but maybe they've made a wrong choice or something happened that they couldn't control within their situation. And now they find themselves on our doorstep. So we see those who have struggled with health and mental health issues, all the way to those that an episode happens. Now, obviously, those that are more skilled and it's just an episodic, usually their stays are a lot shorter and resolution can happen quicker. But those with more issues, then that really elongates this stay.
What's the average stay?
So that's a loaded question, because before COVID, it would have been around 45 days. But now during the COVID era, there was so many eviction diversion dollars that were fueled into the community. And so there wasn't as much turnover that was happening. So finding affordable housing has become more difficult. And so it's almost doubled the stays to more like 90 to 100 days that someone stays with us, just because even though they may have the financial assistance and the means together, they can't find a place that they can afford.
And that brings up the question, is there a limit?
Well, there's never a limit as long as you're continuing to work on your solutions. As long as you're engaged, that's the key. So I think that's important for your listeners to know, that we're trying to work towards an end solution. So there's life skill classes that happen, and it's about personal responsibility as well.
All right, we're talking to Dan Streeter, Executive Director of the Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan. You can donate online at r3monline.org or Wsjw. You'll find the link, and we'll give you other ways to donate during this match campaign. I want to see if I can raise Terry Henney right now, because I forgot to talk to him at the last break, and he's down at the Saginaw County Fair. Mr. Henney, are you available? Well, then why don't you speak to us? Oh, good. You win? All right. All right, we'll talk to you in a few minutes, Terry. And Terry Henny down at the Saginaw County Fair.
Tigers fans, see history in the making when one of the franchise's all-time greats is honored at Comerica Park.
Sweet Lou Whitaker.
Be here Saturday, August 6th when the Tigers take on the Rays at 6:10 p.m. Come early for a special pregame ceremony as Lou Whitaker's #1 is officially retired by the only franchise he's ever played for. Plus, the first 10,000 fans receive replica Lou Whitaker road jerseys courtesy of Bally Sports Detroit. Join the celebration for a true Motor City legend on Saturday, August 6th. Visit tigers.com/tickets.
It's Mid-Michigan's best entertainment value, the 2022 Saginaw County Fair, August 2nd through the 6th. Pay just one price, just $15 Tuesday through Wednesday, $20 Thursday through Saturday. Includes admission, rides on the Big Rock Amusements Midway, grandstand shows, and parking. There's plenty of food, Animal Oasis exotic animals, pony rides, tractor pull on Wednesday, racing, motocross, and the Broken Horn Rodeo on Saturday, and fireworks every night. Check out the Pumpkin Patch Beer Garden, backed by popular demand. Saginaw County Fair, a family tradition for more than a century. Pete Road, Chesaning. Find out more at SaginawCountyFair.org.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
It's been a while since I gave myself a real chance to meet someone new.
Susan and John are two kindred spirits who rediscovered the romance they deserve on Silver Singles, the secure dating site for singles over 50.
John is a massive foodie like me. It's been amazing to experience some of my favorite things again with someone who makes my heart beat faster. I'm so glad I got back out there.
Sign up today at silversingles.com/love. That's silversingles.com/love.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending Ooma and their all-in-one phone, video, and collaboration solution.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
On the next Mark Lee Van Camp and Robin show, the White House says they didn't hand over Afghanistan to terrorists.
Then why are we killing terrorists? Simple question. Mark Lee, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW. The WSGW Broadcasting Studios are sponsored by the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center in Midland.
Hi, we are back with you here on WSGW. Art Lewis Show for this Wednesday morning. Dan Streeter with me from the Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan, kicking off their summer match campaign. So just let's talk about this campaign and how important it is that the 2 weeks from now till the 16th.
16th. Yes.
How important is this to the mission?
It really is extremely important because it helps us with the cash flow during these times. Just think about, your own household. If all of a sudden the bottom was to fall out without any provisions, or you just didn't have any money come in for a whole month. And so it really is critical for us at a time when we have 213 people that stayed with us last night. And so helping to provide that place of care. And I think a lot of times people don't realize how many people need assistance in this area. And it's just, it's always staggering to me. The new faces are always coming through. We work so hard to try to have end solutions, and we're seeing better and better results. But there's so many people in this community that are just living right on the edge.
The good news is it's new faces.
Correct. There's
The
a lot of
bad
new
news
faces.
is it's new faces.
Right. Sometimes with those that are mentally ill or have a substance abuse issue, we'll see some return stay because life is about instability for them. And sometimes it's out of their control, especially those that are mentally ill, with that sustainability. But what we've tried to do as well is having programs in place so that people don't have to ever return to homelessness and get that stability. And so it happens through life skill classes. And we also launched a new program called Impact Designs at the start of 2021, taking donated furnishings and household items and then turning them into a great apartment makeover experience for our guests. So we've helped over 50 people since we launched that program, 50 households, in helping do all the move-in. We plan with them. Do you have a microwave? Do you have the dish plates? Do you have the beds that you need for yourself and for your kids? So we're helping in every aspect, towels, everything that they would need for starting up their home. And then we do that with the whole move-in for them. We have volunteers and staff that then come in and help design the place. And if you go to our Facebook page, Rescue Ministries Facebook page, you can see some of the really cool pictures before and after a plain apartment, and then what it's like when our design team comes in there and puts it all together.
And is Megan involved from TV5?
Yes, she does. She's been a multiple-time designer, frequent designer for us, and she just absolutely loves it, and she does an amazing job, Meg McLeod. But all of our designers, all of our volunteers, it's a labor of love. You do it one time, and then I think you're hooked when you see how much it impacts a young family, how much it helps those who have been struggling, and it just helps that bond. And then we do home follow-up visits, and so we've seen a 95% success rate of people staying housed, those that have received our impact design services. And so it's just from start to finish. It's a great program that helps keep people where they into a home. We call it helping home happen.
Where do you find the homes itself, the residency itself?
So we have a person on staff. A person, as we were talking about, a person becomes homeless. They come through, we get them stabilized. They go through life skill classes. And then we have someone on staff then that helps find out what their situations are, what helps counsel them with what their financial ability is. And then we go with them and drive them to potential apartments and meet with landlords and try to help them find the right fit. And so that's how we also know how difficult it is to find places for people. And it takes sometimes weeks to months to find the right fit that somebody can afford and counsel them towards that. So from start to finish, our staff is helping to guide towards meaningful end solutions, help them with signing the lease, get the keys, and then we do the impact service for them.
Today is the first day of the match program. It's the summer match for the Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan. You can go to r3monline.org or WSGW and click on the link. There's a phone number to call.
989-752-6051.
We'll be back with Dan Streeter and more right after these notes.
Hi, this is Jessica. It's time to check out United Financial Credit Union and experience the credit union difference. From youth accounts to retirement accounts, we can help you with all of your financial needs. Here at United Financial Credit Union, we've been committed to our communities since 1964 and strive to provide long-term financial stability to our members and their families. Whether you need a loan or are looking for a safe place for your savings, you will always be treated as our top priority. Not a member? Why not? It's never been easier to open an account. It's time for you to check out your local friendly credit union and see how we will put you first.
Must meet eligibility requirements federally insured by the NCUA.
We're where you work, where you live. United Financial Credit Union. Serving the Valley community.
My brother-in-law died suddenly,
And now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-917-1965. That's 1-800-917-1965. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-917-1965. That's 1-800-917-1965.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing. But not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
This should be 8x7. When it comes to closets, Janina's home organization business runs tip-top tidy.
Is the schedule right? I'm gonna need help.
But she needs to reorganize and find a new assistant.
I know it's your last week, but can you make sure the Hanson pantry's wrapped?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, this is Mike Avery. You know you can hear my outdoor magazine show Sunday mornings, 9 till noon on WSGW. But now there's another option. Saturday morning, 6 till 9. Tune in for the latest outdoor news and information, hunting and fishing tips, wildlife and conservation issues, even some wild game cooking. That's Outdoor Magazine now on Saturday mornings too, 6 till 9, right here on WSGW 790 AM and 100.5 FM.
All right, let's take a trip south down to Chesaning and talk to Terry Henney. We'll drag him away from his kids' games and see what's happening down at the Saginaw County Fair. Terry? Griffin. His name was Griffin, yes. What? The goat obstacle course. I didn't know. She was walking him like she's got a leash on him like a dog, and he's walking with her. He heels and everything, and then he stops and she straightens his legs, puts him in a certain position, like he's going to show, and I was fascinated by it because his reactions were just like a dog. You could go up and pet him and he'd nuzzle you, and I was surprised. But I wanted to stay away from his two horns. Yeah. I missed that. Really? Well, I won't be bringing Monkey. That would be a dog disruptor. All right, Terry, we'll talk to you then. Terry Henney down at the Saginaw County Fair where we were yesterday. And we thank everybody for coming down and those that presented fruit pies yesterday in the contest. Dan Streeter with me in the studio. Today, the first day of their summer match program for the Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan. You can make a donation by going online to r3monline.org. If you go to Wsgw, you'll find a link. How else can they donate?
Can call into the mission, 989-752-6051. Or go to the WSGW website and hit the link there.
And let's reiterate again, if I give $1, it's not just $1.
Correct. We're getting dollar for dollar match. We've got some very faithful friends of the ministry that have put up $57,500. Wow. And we're hoping to take full advantage of that entire amount. But we're asking that you consider to make a gift. Maybe you haven't made a gift all year long. Now would be a perfect time. You'd have the greatest amount of impact and see it doubled as well. Got 2 weeks for this campaign. And if you're successful, you end up with $105,000. Correct. And that at a critical time. So much so, 213 people were homeless last night, needed a place to stay between Good Samaritan Rescue Mission in Bay City and the City Rescue Mission in Saginaw. All right. That number does not include the youth shelter, does it? No, it doesn't. So last night we had, I think, 3 young people that stayed with us. We're licensed for 10. COVID created some really interesting dynamics that really, for youth shelters all across the state, even though there's a critical need, they didn't come in and get help. And part of it was because they weren't engaging with school professionals and people, seeing what was going on in kids' lives and helping to recommend them to get the help that they need. But we have been seeing those numbers now go up. And so right now, 3, it wasn't that long ago, about a week ago, that it was around 5. So it goes up and down, and unfortunately, it's a critical need in Bay County. And you mentioned something I hadn't heard of before. What are the Labity Lofts? So we got heavily involved in youth work just 2 years ago in pursuing the license. And when we did so, we knew that there was more than just emergency shelter that was needed. So we started brainstorming what's another element, and that is permanent housing for young adults. So kids that are aging out of foster care, really critical. What happens to them? Funding stops with their support family, their foster family, when they turn 18 and they graduate from high school. Well, now you have an 18-year-old who is totally disconnected, and no landlord wants to rent to them. So we purchased the property that had been adjacent to the mission, and was a church long ago created for caring, Bay Academy. So I remember that. Yeah. Yeah. So we renovated the space that was the school portion of that. We're in the middle of the renovations right now. We're hoping sometime in October that the renovations will be done. 10 apartments, single occupancy, efficiency style apartments for kids aging out of foster care. And so helping young adults then and creating that environment for them where they'll have their own lease, their own space, and then learning what it means to be a young adult. And I assume because Labity's name is on it, they've been a contributor. Exactly. The Labity family made a substantial gift to help get the program launched. All right. So in this last minute that we have here, let's remind everybody again about the match. Opportunity to be able to help those that are in need. Short period of time, 2 weeks, at a time that's critical for us for funding. And yet our numbers are the highest. And so you go to Rescue Ministries, r3monline.org, or the Rescue Ministries Facebook page, or the Wsgw website, or call 989-752-6051. All of those ways are available through the next 2 weeks. You make a donation, and it'll be matched dollar for dollar up to $57,500. So we're hoping that we'll see $115,000 come through this campaign at a critical time. And I don't blame people. It's, this time of year, you want to get out and you want to enjoy Michigan. And so sometimes we don't think about homelessness, but we're asking that you take at least 1 minute. I think it'd take 1 minute for you to make a donation and through all the clicks and enter the information, and you can help change a life. All right, Dan, thanks for being with us today. And of course, we'll promote the campaign for the next 2 weeks. Summer match for the Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan. Thanks so much. You're welcome. Take our last break. Be back to close out.
For over 20 years, you have known Sunrise Awnings as the home of the shady deal. Living in Michigan, we are always looking for ways to spend more time outdoors, especially now. Sunrise Awnings provides homeowners that opportunity to expand their living space with Sunsetter or Summer Space Awnings. Enjoy family and friends, protected from the sun, rain, and heat. Call Sunrise Awnings today to take advantage of that outdoor lifestyle you enjoy. Check us out at sunriseawnings.net. Get the most out of your patio and deck with a retractable awning from Sunrise Awnings.
And now, bedtime. If sleep apnea and CPAP struggles are ruining your sleep, Inspire may work for you. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to help you sleep peacefully. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Learn more at inspiresleep.com.
Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Bearded Axe in Saginaw. You are going to get a party room for 3 hours and 2 hours of axe throwing for half off. Bearded Axe Party Room adult package is great for bachelor or bachelorette parties, a night out with friends, and so much more. Located at 4375 Bay Road in Saginaw. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
The Wsgw Invitational Golf Outing is Tuesday, August 16th at the Sawmill Golf Club. It's presented by Westside Decorating and powered by Branham's Jewelry. Over $5,000 in prizes to be given away. You can purchase your entry to play today. Only $60 per golfer. To sign up, visit WSGW.com. Scroll down the homepage and find the Winvitational Golf box. Click to find the entry link. The Winvitational Golf Outing at the Sawmill, Tuesday, August 16th. Sign up to play today at WSGW.com.
All right, that'll do it for the Art Lewis Show for today. Our thanks to Dan Streeter for being with us. And again, don't forget the summer match goes on till the 16th. Every dollar you give gets matched by $1 up to $57,000, $57,500 actually. R3monline.org, or you can go to WSGW and click on the link too. Either way, it'll get you there. Stick around now for the news coming up from CBS and the local report with Michael Purchin, the WSGW newsroom. We'll be back with Focus to focus on the YMCA of Saginaw Summer Concert.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Zoom.
I'm Steve Kathan. Kansas voters say no to a referendum that would have allowed Republican lawmakers to tighten abortion restrictions or ban the procedure altogether. Planned Parenthood's Rachel Sweet.
The voters of Kansas have spoken loud and clear. We will not tolerate extreme bans on abortion in our state.
CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns is in Kansas.
This is a conservative state. Republicans outnumber Democrats, and they're also unaffiliated voters. But what we kept hearing from voters at the polls yesterday was that they were turning out for this issue alone.
Arizona's Republican primary for governor is too close to call. Trump-backed Kari Lake has a slight edge over Karen Taylor Robson, who was endorsed by former Vice President Pence.
Our legal team is watching everything very, very closely. We will continue to fight for every lawful vote.
In Missouri, Trump endorsed Eric in the Senate primary, leaving things open to interpretation. Attorney General Eric Schmidt won over disgraced former Governor Eric Greitens. Demand for monkeypox vaccine continues to grow as outbreaks widen. So far, more than 6,300 cases in 48 states. Infectious disease expert Dr. Michael Osterholm tells CBS Mornings vaccine could be in short supply for some time to come.
We do have a major shortage of vaccine. Remember, the whole world wants this right now. The United States is not even leading in terms of numbers. Spain has 5 times as many cases per population as we do. United Kingdom, twice as many.
Well, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi left Taiwan today after praising the island's democracy, a visit that lasted less than 24 hours. China sees Taiwan as its territory, and CBS's Vicki Barker has more on the Beijing backlash.
China has responded to the Pelosi trip by slapping some trade sanctions on Taiwan and by ordering live-fire military drills in the air and sea around the island. Not yet clear if Beijing plans to confine its response to those measures.
Well, for decades, Vin Scully was the man behind the mic for so many big baseball games. Scully, who broadcast Dodgers games for 67 years, did national broadcast too, died yesterday at 94. LA manager Dave Roberts.
If I could put it in one word, he was a gentleman. And that means a lot. And so, yeah, he was the voice of baseball, but how he interacted with fans, how he made baseball games come to life, he was always a gentleman.
Dodgers pitcher Clayton Kershaw says Scully was the best there ever was. Wall Street, the Dow is up 247. This is CBS News.
500,000 businesses connect using Zoom for communication and collaboration around the globe. Zoom, how the world connects.
Hi, this is Jessica. Do you currently have an auto lease coming due? Have you been thinking about whether or not you should keep your current leased vehicle and are worried about current dealership inventory? Don't let the thought of searching for a new car stress you out. United Financial is here to help you. You can take advantage of our auto lease buyout loan and continue driving your current vehicle. Plus, enjoy 90 days of no payments, low rates, and a gas card when you find your current leased vehicle with United Financial Credit Union. See how we put you first at United Financial? And contact us today to learn more, and we can keep you on the road in your current vehicle.
Some restrictions may apply. See Credit Union for details. Federally insured by the NCUA.
We're where you work, where you live. United Financial Credit Union. Serving the Valley community.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies, rain, and 75 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Percha. In state house races, there was an upset in the 97th district as incumbent Rodney Wakeman was unseated by fellow Republican Matthew Bearline in the primary election yesterday, who also defeated Dean Riley with nearly 60% of the vote. Bearline will face Democratic challenger Paul Whitney in November. For the 95th district, Republican Bill G. Schuette will face Democrat Matthew Dawson in November. Schuette beat Midland County Clerk Ann Maneri and Charles McGinnis at just over 64% of the vote, while Dawson defeated Larry Grell at 70%. State Representatives Amos O'Neill of the 94th district and Timmy Beeson of the 96th district went unchallenged in yesterday's primary. O'Neill faces Republican James Shepler, and Beeson will be challenged by Democrat Kim Coonan in November. In Saginaw County, 2 10th Circuit Court judge candidates will advance to the general election. Brittany Dickin garnered nearly 10,000 votes, with Megan Coddington Heath receiving around 7,500. Those two were chosen over Andrew Concannon, Janae Lamar, and Deborah Jotton. In county commission races, the 1st District Republican primary saw Mark Petrowski come out ahead of Peter Wiltsey and Ben Hammond. In the 3rd District Republican primary, Rick Spitzer soundly defeated David Fallis, and Tracy Slodowski beat out James Graham, and Rick Rebschlager in the 5th District primary. Both Democratic and Republican primaries were held for the 6th District, with Democrat Joe Wasmiller squeaking by Douglas Bishop and Republican Denny Harris passing Jeff Roy. Republican incumbent Dennis Kraft of the 7th District beat Carol Ewing in the primary. Saginaw area residents have an opportunity to visit Saginaw Children's Zoo free of charge. Impact Saginaw area credit unions are hosting the See You at the Zoo event August 21st. From 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., admission to the zoo is free, and credit union volunteers will be presenting activities and distributing school supplies. WSGW News Time, 11:07.
Want to pay less for gas? Stop at any one of your local 26 Forward Shell convenience stores, where you'll save at least 5 cents a gallon on every fill-up with Shell Fuel Rewards. Earn even more cents off when you make purchases in-store on some of your favorite snacks and drinks. Stack the savings, and you can regularly save 10, 20, 30 cents or more off each gallon of gas. That's Fuel Rewards and your area Forward Shell convenience stores. And remember, when you want to pay less at the pump, go forward.
In the wee hours of the night, when everyone else is fast asleep, you're the one on third shift, burning the midnight oil. When a part fails and everything comes to a grinding halt, regardless of what the clock on the wall says, you leap into action. Grainger is with you and all the ones who get it done, with 24/7 customer support by phone or click to chat. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel announced the state of Michigan is joining a nationwide anti-robocall litigation task force of 50 attorneys general to investigate and take legal action against the telecommunications companies responsible for bringing a majority of foreign robocalls into the U.S. This bipartisan nationwide task force has one goal: to cut down on illegal robocalls. The task force has issued 20 civil investigative demands to 20 gateway providers and other entities that are allegedly responsible for a majority of foreign robocall traffic. Gateway providers that bring foreign traffic into the U.S. telephone network have a responsibility to ensure the traffic is legal, but those providers are not taking sufficient action to stop the traffic. The task force will focus on the bad actors throughout the telecommunications industry to help reduce the number of robocalls and benefit the companies that are following the rules. State environmental officials are warning swimmers to avoid portions of Kent Lake and Mill Pond at metro parks as they search for a chemical spill. Auto supplier Tri-Bar released thousands of gallons of hexavalent chromium, which can cause cancer, into the sewer system over the weekend. Mark Hansel at the Oakland County Health Department says the Huron River should also be avoided between Wixom and Kensington roads.
Right now, we don't even know if there is enough of this in the water system that we are concerned, but it is possible enough that it was important in the interest of public health and transparency that that we let everyone know that there is potential for some adverse health effects if you're exposed to this water.
State officials say the spill has not affected the drinking water. WSGW News Time, 11:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. A few scattered showers and storms here for today, with cloudy sky conditions, a high in the upper 80s. Winds out of the southwest around 5 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 30. Then for tonight, a chance for showers and thunderstorms, cloudy, a low near 71. By Thursday, a chance for some rain showers, mostly cloudy, high of 83 degrees. Then on Friday, plenty of blue skies and sun with a high around 83. Saturday, sunshine, high of 92 degrees. Then on Sunday, a chance for showers and thunderstorms. Partial sunshine develops. We'll see a high around 90. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast.
Currently, it's 72.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
And a good morning to you. Welcome to another edition of Focus here on WSGW. Focus is brought to you by RoofMax, the safe, proven, and affordable alternative to asphalt shingle roof replacement. You can find out more about RoofMax online at getroofmax.com, or you can call Ben at 989-859-6751. RoofMax with 2 X's. Coming up in the not-too-distant future, something we're going to learn about this morning. It's a big outdoor concert at the Saginaw YMCA. We have a couple of folks to talk to this morning about it. First of all, we say good morning to someone I've known for quite a long time because he was involved with the Saginaw Spirit for a long time, but now involved with the YMCA. We say hello to Dan Weigel. Dan, good morning.
Good morning, Arthur. How are you today?
Hey, we're doing well, tall guy. Good to hear from you.
Yeah.
He towers over
Thanks,
me,
Arthur.
friends. Towers over me. And another guy who I've known actually a lot longer. He's the Rock of Gibraltar. We say good morning to Terry Rock. Terry, good morning.
Good morning, my friend Arthur. How are you?
We're doing well. Dan, you're representing the Y this morning. Terry, you are representing?
The Ecumenical Food Pantry at First Presbyterian Church.
And how long have you been involved with that?
Since I retired myself, about 19, close to 18 years
Yeah,
now.
I'm glad you said that because, you know, you'd pick on me if I did. I've known these guys for a long time, and I respect both of them. All right, so Dan, let's start with the YMCA and what's happening there.
Yeah, well, this will be actually our second concert of the summer. We had one on June 16th, very successful. And so we're at it again on August the 11th. We have a concert right out in the backyard here between the Y and the Saginaw River. Beautiful setting. We're bringing in Counting Change and also the Mysterians.
Yeah.
So a couple of familiar names there for the folks that have been around Saginaw for any time at all.
Bobby Balderrama back on stage again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, I know it. And yeah, they all are. They do a fantastic job. We're just so happy to have them.
And when is this concert?
This is August the 11th. It's a Thursday night. We kick off things at 5:30 and goes to about 8:30, depends on how soon we get them off stage.
Is there a charge?
No, actually, thanks for saying that, Art. It's free to the community. Thanks to our sponsors. Especially, let's give a shout out to a couple, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
Health Alliance Plan, Federal Express Ground, and Dr. Jack Nash is helping us out with gives us the opportunity to offer this for free to the folks.
There are food concessions there, if I remember right.
Yeah, we have 4 different food trucks or food concessions this time. Artesian Bistro will be out. Woody's Hot Dog. Yeah,
He was there when I was there last year. Boy, his dogs are good.
Oh yeah, they are. They're very good. And Maria's Mexican food. Maria's Taco makes the best taco in town. And we have a snow cone maker. It's called the Snowball. Makes it. The kids love those. So keep the kids happy.
So Terry, what's the relationship to the pantry to all of this?
Well, the concert's actually, Dan, you had mentioned that it's called Concert for a Cause. And they select a nonprofit to share in the activities. And what Dan called me about.
Hello. What is that? I don't know what that is or who it is. It's one of you guys on the phone.
No, not me.
Dan, you there? Wow, must be Dan. I'm going to have to turn it down for a minute. I'll tell you what, I'm going to take a break. Stick around. We'll come back and hopefully that goes away, whatever it was. It's not our end. Let me take a moment to talk about our friends up at Krijak's House Family Restaurant in Bay City. Best place to go for your authentic home-cooked foods with a European flair at reasonable prices. Now's the time to think about getting together with friends and family for lunch or dinner, as well as events coming up, graduations, confirmations, weddings, showers, whatever. Krijak's has an economical way to supply your food. You can order what you want in Polish and American foods and then just pick it up at the restaurant ready to go. Or have your celebration right there at the restaurant. Krizak's can help. Call them at 989-894-5531. 894-5531. Krizak's House, family restaurant, corner of Cass and Michigan on Bay City's south side. And while I have your ear, let me ask how you slept last night, because, you know, in today's world, we're asked to do more for less. When you go to bed and theoretically you spend a third of your life in bed, you really need a quality sleep. And it's something you can get on a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. Now, Sanitary Mattress is right here in our community. Your mattress is made to your specifications and your likes, and they feature 1 hour delivery window of your mattress to your home, so you don't have to wait around for them all day long. The other thing Sanitary Mattress can do is custom make a mattress for your boat or your RV, whatever your size specifications. They can make that mattress to your exact size, something the box stores can't do. So why don't you pay a visit to Sanitary Mattress? Put them in your GPS at 5343 Janes Road, just to the east of Harry Brown Airport. Online, sanitarymattress.com, or give them a call at 989-753-1757. Sanitary Mattress. We'll take a quick pause. We'll also go down to Terry Henney, find out what's happening at Saginaw County Fair, and then return with our guests.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a Roof Max shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money, guaranteed with Roof Max, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
At Wildfire Credit Union, loan rates are low and cash is back. Borrow for the things you want, consolidate high-interest credit cards, or refinance a loan and watch your monthly payments go down. We have members who save thousands of dollars. You can save too and get cash back.
It's coming back round again. Cash is back. Tell a friend.
It's easy to open a new loan or move an existing one to Wildfire. Just call, click, or come by any Wildfire branch in Saginaw, Midland, or Bay City and ask for cash back now through the end of August. We've got great rates and personalized solutions for your borrowing needs. Enjoy the things you want. Save money with lower monthly payments. Plus, get cash back.
It's coming back round again. Cash is back. Tell a friend. It's coming back.
Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better.
Cash is back. Tell a friend.
New loans only, subject to credit approval, equal housing lender.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Let's take a trip down to Chesaning and Terry Henney down at the Saginaw County Fair. Terry. Oh, we had a little one here too. Well, it's Saginaw Fair Week. It has to rain. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Very good. We'll look forward, Terry. Thanks a lot. Terry Henney down at the Saginaw County Fair.
Thank you for being with 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW in the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios.
All right, we're back with you here on the Focus program, talking to Dan Weigel about the YMCA concert coming up. And from the pantry, we have with us Terry Rock. Again, it's is that the First Presbyterian Church, Terry?
Correct. It's called the Ecumenical Food Pantry, First Presbyterian Church. We're in our 32nd year of operation of that pantry.
So, I assume even though the concert, Dan, is free, there will be some fundraising availability, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm still here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we got you now.
Okay, good. I apologize for that. Yeah, as far as fundraising, you mean for the Y or what?
Well, for the pantry, I mean,
Oh yeah. I wasn't sure if Terry talked to you about that or not because I lost you for a minute. But yeah, it's there'll be fundraising for the pantry. Will be a sale of drinks. So we're asking our vendors not to bring, not to sell any drinks, and asking our customers to please support the pantry by buying the drinks on site. So they'll have pop and water for sale, and also they'll be running a 50-50 raffle. Proceeds going back to the pantry. So that's the cause part.
Terry, when's that pantry available to the public? How is it used?
Originally, Arthur, we operated on a Monday to Wednesday, 2 hours, and people came into the lower level of the church and the pantry and got interviewed, and we'd fix them up with some food and things. But once the pandemic hit, that all stopped, and we went to a drive-through pantry back 2 years ago, right after the pandemic hit. And since then, we've given out 4,313 boxes of food.
Oh, wow.
We do 140 boxes every Wednesday, beginning at around 10 o'clock. And by 10:30 this morning, we were out of 140 boxes. And it didn't turn too many people away this morning, but every once in a while we do that. And over the years, since we started this drive-through, we've done 10,702 boxes of food.
Where's your food come from?
We get it from a variety of sources. We have we do some fundraising and grant writing and to fund the program because the church doesn't charge us anything to use the space, and so that's really nice. And the volunteers are down there every week. We get we buy a lot of food from the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan, which comes in once every 2 weeks with a semi, and we order from there. And then also we buy our own food at Sam's Clubs and Aldi's, and we rely heavily on a good partner that you and I both believe in Hidden Harvest.
I was going to say, I knew that was coming.
All right. We go there every Tuesday with my guys with the pickup trucks, and we get whatever they have to give us. So they supply us with a lot of good things. And we're proud to be part of this and hope that people will purchase the 50-50 tickets. We plan on having 2 drawings between the 2 stage performances, and the pop is only going to be $2 and the water $1.
So, Dan, let's remind everybody about the concert, the date, who's going to be on stage.
August 11th. It's a Thursday night, 5:30 to 8.
Is there a website where people can get more information?
Sure. You can go to SaginawYMCA.org, and it'll all be right there for you. I wanted to mention, too, I don't know if, again, I blacked out. I don't know if Terry mentioned the $5 worth of non-perishable food. If you bring that in to the concert, you'll receive a free raffle ticket for the 50-50.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Very good.
Yep. Thanks for that, Terry. That's a great idea.
Welcome. We can use all the help we can get.
All right, guys. Well, look, we appreciate your time this morning. We'll hope everybody gets out on the concert August 11th and help out the cause. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks, Arthur.
Good talking to you, Dan. Good talking to you, Terry. Take care now, guys.
Well, thank you.
Bye-bye now. And we thank them for joining us here on Focus today. We'll be back to close out after these notes.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, She can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today.